Hello and welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thanks for joining me today. Look, I thought I'd do this video because we are in eclipse season and it has been a pretty turbulent time for lots of people. So there's another eclipse coming on the 10th of the month and it's in Gemini. So if you do have any planets around 19 degrees in either Gemini or the other mutable signs, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, you will be especially affected by this eclipse. We also have Mercury retrograde, and for the air signs, that is going to be full on problems, I guess. I don't like the use of the word problems, but let's say you might have to tweak your arrangements if you're an air sign. But look, the solar eclipse in Gemini and Mercury retrograde in Gemini do affect everyone, and it's just a question of extent or the degree that people are affected. So I'll do all star signs today, so you'll know exactly which area of your life is likely to be affected the most. Okay, if you are new, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit that notification bell right now. Okay, so let's go to the board and have a look at what's likely to happen for everybody. I'll just put this on Zoom so you'll be able to see more clearly. So we're looking at the Aries chart now. For the 10th, you'll see the moon is down here in your third house of communications, with Mercury retrograde there as well in the third house. So basically, dear Arians, communications are really highlighted for you around this time. There could be some new beginnings coming in communications. Maybe you're thinking about a new phone or a new device or something. Also publications, promotions, study, or even perhaps communication with distant family members, including distant siblings or cousins. Do be extra careful now with Mercury retrograde because there could be some misunderstandings. Okay, so here and here. All right, so Taurus, let's have a look what's happening for you. And you've got the moon here in your second house of possessions, finances, and things that you value. So this means that seeds can be planted which will transform your money, possessions, and communications. You might also find with Mercury retrograde that things come up from the past. Maybe there's some involvement with some past issues with finances, like an ex or someone who owes you money, something like that. Mercury being retrograde, you know, you've got to make sure that everything is in writing, especially things to do with your money. You want to make sure you've got it in writing. There may be glitches there. If it's not your finances, it could be the things you value, perhaps your possessions. Make sure you take care and secure your possessions. Okay, gorgeous Geminis, this is your time. With the eclipse and Mercury retrograde here in your sign. Okay, so it's going to be quite strong for you with the moon and Mercury there in your sign. It's time to think about a new look, change your appearance and your core beliefs. Maybe there's a new direction you can take in your life. You can be more perceptive and sensitive now, which enables you to pick up what's really going on with other people. A new cycle is beginning for you, and you could more closely align your life to your core beliefs. Do watch for some sort of confusion in what you believe at this time, but it will come clear. Mercury's retrograde until 21st of June, and then there's a shadow period of a week or so after that. You'll see here you've got this square between the moon and your MC. So that's your general life direction or your career. So it could be some sort of toing and froing, some sort of challenge with a square, things you have to work out for this new change of direction that's coming in the new cycle. But on the positive side, your sign is trining, the moon, sorry, is trining Saturn. You know, this is a very favourable sign because authority figures could help you. This could bring more structure into your life so that, you know, you get what you really want, okay, if you put your mind to it. Okay, caring Cancerians, let's go to your chart now. You see the moon and Mercury here in your house of the goddess, the house of the unconscious. And you may be feeling a little sensitive or perhaps even moody. It's a great time to have some quiet time out by yourself, meditate, pay special attention to your dreams and intuition. It's also worth contemplating your life direction and spiritual journey. It's like, this is sort of like a quiet time where you're in a sort of preparation for the new cycle to begin soon. So plant some seeds and your spiritual life will help you to rejuvenate and enliven you as they grow in the future. You'll see you've got some positive aspects here to the moon, semi-sextile, Uranus semi-sextiling the moon, and also Saturn semi-sextiling the moon. So, you know, it might be some adjustments to make, but it's going to end up really positive for you, caring Cancerians. Leo, let's go to Leo now. Alrighty, and you'll see here in your 11th house, the moon and Mercury up here. So this brings new beginnings with groups and connections, and perhaps even some new friends will come into your life. You may feel a strong desire for community. And this is all about deepening your relationships, which is going to end up very beneficial for you. You could attend functions, socialise, and make some new friends. Do it, okay? I'm thinking groups because, see with Saturn here, there's some sort of structure to these new connections. It's not like you just meet someone in the street. You could, but it's more like there's some sort of form or boundary around the area where you meet these people, okay? Lines, Saturn loves lines and borders and things like that, enclosed places. So yeah, it's more likely to be an indoor sort of event, okay? So, and here with Uranus, you see here, it could be in an unexpected or unpredictable way that you meet new people. Alrighty, so vivacious Virgos, let's have a look at your chart right here, and you'll see here in your 10th house your public life, your general life direction, also your career and vocation, the moon and Mercury here with a beautiful trine down to Saturn here in your 6th house. So your normal everyday work, habits and routine, very beneficially aspecting your subconscious. Maybe your mother helps you with your career. That's also a possibility. She could be encouraging you some way. But whichever way you look at it, there's new beginnings starting in your house of vocation, career and life direction. Your reputation and social status may also feature strongly now. Whatever you do tends to be more public than usual. The world sees more of you personally, whether you want them to or not. But with this, it's probably going to be quite beneficial and quite positive, and you might be pleasantly surprised, you know, the high regard that people hold you in, vivacious Virgos. Okay, lucky Libra, I want to say. I don't know why. I'm a Libra. Maybe, you know, I'm biased, perhaps. You'll see here the moon is in your 9th house along with Mercury, okay, the house of the higher mind. This is fabulous for learning, for broadening your horizons, your life generally. It's time to plant seeds. Perhaps you're feeling like going on a short break. I've been thinking about that the last few days myself, actually, just going away for a few days. This is fabulous, and you need it. It would be good for you. Maybe you're thinking of study or expanding your horizons in some way. Maybe travel. It might be difficult with COVID, depending where you are, of course. But your life can become large now, and you can also expand through learning and spirituality. Take the big picture view and don't be afraid to try new things and start new beginnings. Okay, so again, trying to Saturn, and you'll see here that Neptune, there's a square to Neptune, so just be a little bit cautious about deception or confusion. Maybe your mind could feel cloudy or vague. You know, you're having a vague day. Sometimes I have vague days. It's just how it rolls, you know. You'll find anything, Libra is an air sign, by the way, so we live in the mental realms. But anybody who has any psychic ability, you might find that vagueness is particularly strong. Let's go to Scorpio now. Scorpio is well known for having psychic ability, loving to deal with very deep things. And you'll see here the moon in the 8th house of intimacy and also shared resources along with Mercury. And here in the 4th house, a beautiful trine with Saturn in the 4th house. However, a square with Neptune. So again, just watch that psychic ability and intuition. You know, if you're a tarot reader or you're involved in the esoteric industry somehow, you might just find it's a little bit cloudy. If you're clairvoyant, sometimes it's sort of like, I find when I get that vagueness, it goes a little bit grey. The picture goes grey, or sometimes looks like static on a TV. And depending on what country you're in as well, if you're in a heavily populated country, I find that there's more static or it's harder to read. If you're in a country like Australia, it's much easier to read here. We don't have the population, we don't have the history. 200 years old, 250 years old, you know, we're not that old. But places like the US and even Europe, it can be harder to pick up. So do watch for confusion there. But you may also have concerns about money, or perhaps your partner's or other people's money. It's best to try and be objective now, especially around women and your partner, because your emotions may show. Loans, inheritances, superannuation or 401k in the US may feature. There's likely to be new beginnings around shared resources such as finances, joint money that you share together, or perhaps intimacy. You go to a deeper level, which will probably please you. Okay, savvy Sagittarius. Let's have a look what's in line for you. All the activity with the moon and Mercury here in your 7th house of committed relationships, legalities, also open enemies, people you just don't get on with or you've got some sort of dispute with. But if you can give some time and attention to your close relationships in these matters generally, and especially with women and significant partners, that would definitely be a help. There are new beginnings with partnerships, or a rejuvenation of a close relationship can take place now. You could also plant seeds to get a casual relationship onto a more committed level. If you have some sort of legalities or, you know, some sort of case going on, there's likely to be changes there. It could bring up some fear at some stage, or some sort of subconscious forces coming up, particularly about your family or your home. But you'll find that this is sort of like a clearing, and in the long run, things are going to work out much better for you. Okay. Capricorn, courageous Capricorn. What do we have in store for you? Okay, so here, it's all happening here in your 6th house of everyday work, health, well-being, your routine, what you do on a daily sort of basis. And you could find there's some significant change here where you change your routine in some way. You might be thinking about some sort of self-improvement, you know, maybe you want to have a change in diet, or change your exercise regime, something like that, to, you know, plant some seeds for, you know, good health. You may try to turn your emotions into something practical, something that you could start new. It's possible that you could be thinking about a new job or new procedures in your normal everyday work as well. You've got a nice trine with Saturn here in your finances, so that sort of means there's some sort of structure around your money becomes more steady. But yeah, do watch the communications here. And again, with Neptune, the confusion and vagueness could be an issue. Here, this square here with your MC, if you're thinking about you want to broaden your life or, enlarge some area in your life, that might be problematic for the moment. So it might be stop, start. With a square, you have to sort of work through the challenges. But a square doesn't mean that it won't happen. A square just means that there's things that you've got to do to work through it. You can still get where you want to go in the long term. Just be patient. Won't happen overnight, but it will happen. But yeah, this could be the first step of a new job where you're in the thinking phase, maybe not so active. And if you are applying for new jobs, might, take a bit of time to get the job you want. Okay, awesome Aquarius. Let's have a look here. All happening in your 5th house of creativity, romance, the world of the child. You can come out of your shell now and express your true feelings. Your playful side is likely to be highlighted now. Maybe you're thinking about romance and there's a new beginning in your romantic life. You can also enjoy sports, games and entertainment. Okay, so there's the opportunity for fun, socializing, and perhaps somebody near you has a baby, or you have more to do with children, or you're getting in touch with your own inner child and making your inner child happy. Do watch your finances though, and especially with Neptune there, you want to have everything in writing about your money and your possessions. Okay, and the last sign we're looking at is passionate Pisces. Okay, so passionate Pisces, it's all happening here in your home and family. The Moon and Mercury are here. So it's a great time to spend some time at home and with your family. There are opportunities for new beginnings. Maybe you're thinking about renovating or renewing something at home. And it's like there's a revitalization at home in some way, or with different members of your family. Now, over here, Neptune in your sign, here your 1st house, again, you could be feeling like more spiritual than usual. You could have some sort of experiences, in your dreams, or, even in your normal everyday life. But it's not really the time at the moment to make the decision with the square, okay? So maybe you're wondering what you really do believe. You might have some things in the spiritual too hard basket, and you're looking at them and trying to weigh up whether you accept them or not. What do you really believe? Okay, so that's it, everybody. Hope this makes sense to you. Leave me a comment. That would be fabulous. Let me know what you think. 10th of June is the big day, and after that, I know a lot of you, I did a previous video about signs and symptoms. We've been all feeling headaches, neck pain, shoulder pain, all sorts of things going on, and it has been a bit turbulent. So do go back and check that. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to check that video as well about the lunar eclipse. But basically the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse, they go together. It's male and female. So the solar eclipse is all about making things physical, making them real. You've made some inner changes since the lunar eclipse. You've been processing energy, And now it's time to put that into actual practicality. So new beginnings is the word, I guess, the theme of the moment. Alrighty. Oh, and one more point with the eclipses, the changes don't necessarily start right on the date. So the lunar eclipse of 26th of May could have actually started, the feelings could have started before. And these physical things, these new beginnings you're bringing in, they could be starting right this very minute, okay? But also the effects can go for some months. Some people even say 6 months, okay? And then we're around to the next lot of eclipses by then. Okay, so have a wonderful month, everyone. I'll see you all again soon. I'll be starting the July horoscope soon. Okay, thanks and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.